Alrighty, boys. Not gonna lie, this boss is pretty bald if you have no idea what you're doing. But don't worry, I'm here to help, and this should make your life a lot easier. So let's talk about him for a bit. So, Moha is a pretty strong boss. He gets stronger the more his stacks are, right? So, let me explain. So this boss in phase 1 is like piss easy. You can literally just goo goo gaga monkey brain damage on this guy and you'll be good. But for phase 2 is where it really gets rough. Because of his stack mechanic, right? So I'll go ahead and read it to you. After each turn, if Rafro Moha has taken damage during that turn, its Raf increases by 4. Okay? Now, if it has not taken damage, it will decrease by 1. The Raf stack, right? Your goal is to have that Raf stack at the lowest number you possibly can by the end of the turn. So what that means is you don't want to bring characters that attack too much. You only mainly want to bring one DPS unit and maybe a healer, and the other are 2 buffers, meaning wonder buffing / debuffing, and then just, your best in-slot buffer, right? And in this case, if you click on this video, you're probably running the Makoto team. And the Makoto team is fairly easy. Just run Makoto with Vino. Vino can monkey brain on phase 1, but phase 2, you mainly want to use her for her highlight. You don't want to be spamming skill 1 or skill 3 at all in the slightest in phase 2 with Vino. And then Marion is there just so you don't die, right? It's skill 2, skill 3 spam. You know the drill. And if you do have Futaba, I'd recommend running Futaba here, but in my case, I don't have enough mats to level up Futaba as of recording this video, so I'm just going to have to settle for Rico. But if you can bring Futaba, there is a mechanic where if you bring Futaba, then you will gain extra ballista energy. Okay? So, with the ballista, basically you start from 0 and it ends at 100. Okay? Your goal with Makoto is to save Crash Out when he goes into that ballista phase. You want to line up Crash Out is what I mean, right? And keep in mind that the ballista doesn't do the damage. It's just there to down him so that he takes damage increase. So you want to be saving your Makoto Crash Outs for those certain instances. But enough yapping, let's just go ahead and get started with Rev Cards, and I'll show you from here. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with Rev Cards. So with Makoto, you're going to want Acceptance and True. It's the Nuke DPS set. Alrighty. With Vino, you're going to want the Defense Shred set, Departure and Control. It's really good for her, the usual Vino set. And for Marion, you're going to want Trust and Prosperity. It's the Highlight Increase, and it's the AoE Damage Increase set. It's pretty good. And then finally for Rico, you're going to want the generic Navi set, Resolve, and Labor. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about Wonder Personas. So for Wonder Personas, you're going to want Bishamonten with Rakunda. That's mainly what you're going to be using on him. Alright, Dionysus, you're going to be inheriting Rebellion and Tarukaja. And then lastly, Yanosik is your stat stick. Only good for Wonder stats. And then obviously, run Ex Machina. So yeah, with this portion of the fight, just breeze through it, just do whatever you want, right? The main goal is just to do damage here. Okay, get down phase 1, and then we'll talk once we hit phase 2, okay, guys? I'll see you in a sec. All right, phase 2 starts here. Let's go, guys. So, obviously, you want to do as much damage as you can. Highlights don't really affect his stacks all too much. Another thing I forgot to point out. So, keep in mind here, I'm guarding with Vino so that I can avoid increasing his stacks. And then Marion, apply S2 or S3 depending on your situation. You don't have to play her optimally. Just make sure you live, okay? Rico, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Sometimes you might forget, but that's okay. You know, it gets the job done. And for Wonder, you're going to mainly be buffing and debuffing in this phase. Okay. So, here, he barely has a lot of stacks, so you'll be fine. Like, you can at least hit 1 attack per turn with a DPS and be fine. Alright? It only gets really Monka-S whenever you decide to do 2 attacks. Keep in mind, highlight doesn't count towards the stacks. So you can highlight and get away with it. I'm guarding a lot so that I don't, you know, increase his stacks. That's a good way to just make sure his stacks are at a low point to prepare for his attack so they don't hurt you too much. For Rico, the rotations, like I said, are pretty easy. 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Abuse skill 3's healing effect on whoever you need. Like, for example, here I used it on Wonder, right? And Vino, for the most part, is just going to stay very stagnant this whole fight. Her main role in phase 2 is use highlight and inflict ailments so that Makoto doesn't do bad damage. Alright. So in this case, I have Vino's highlight. I'll go ahead and proc that. So now this turn, you should have all 4 ailments up. So whenever you Makoto crash out, you can go straight to skill 3 here and do some decent damage. And again, if you lose track of your buffs, it's fine. Just keep in mind, Rakunda into Rebellion into Tarukajin. Try your best to remember it. Okay, here, I just crash out. And with the crash out here, I accidentally did S1, but it's fine. You know, it's okay. But here, you should probably skill 3. Because you have all 4 ailments active. And again, just keep guarding with your non-DPS units. Or just apply some sort of heal or debuff or buff. Alright, that doesn't increase his stacks. Alright. And man, Marion is so good here. Okay, so here, since I have Manami and Wonder Highlight, I would rather use Wonder Highlight for the Dionysus attack buff. So you can align it during the Ballista phase. Okay? So, whatever you do here, try to make sure you save crash out. You're at 80 out of 100. That's a sign for you to just chill out on crashing out. I know that sounds weird, but yes, you do, because you don't want to waste a precious turn of the Ballista, right? So, this turn, you're probably going to skill 1 with Makoto. You can also skill 2 as well. That also gives tenacity. But whatever you do, once you hit the tenacity, I mean, not the tenacity, the crash out next turn, you do not want to use it right away. You want to save it for when the Ballista hits him and it downs him. Okay, I'll talk to you in a sec. JK, you primarily want to use S1 so you have all 4 ailments up so that Makoto does damage during crash out. So here, they're going to activate the Ballista. Okay, this is going to down Moha, and this is your chance to take advantage of doing bonus damage here. So Vino, whatever you do, do not hit him here with Vino, because even during this down state, he can still build stacks, and that could potentially end your run. Okay, so here, I just skill 2 on Makoto for the Pierce. And then Wonder, just keep debuffing, buffing, whatever you need to do here. Even I already forgot what rotation I'm on here. And I'm editing right now, y'all. Okay, so go ahead and crash out here. And then go ahead and highlight. Highlight here, and then you skill 3 with crash out. so that you take full advantage of the down state that Moha is in. Okay, so TLDR, once you get to 80 turns, it's your cue to calm down on crashing out and save it, right? For the next turn, right? It's very crucial you do that, or else you lose out on a lot of damage. And I wish I was kidding. All right, and now that you're back to the flying stage, just keep, maintaining its stack so that it's low. Guard whenever you need to, heal whenever you need to. Makoto skill 1 whenever you need to, so you can, inflict ailments, and use Vino's highlight as well too, to increase the ailments inflicted, so that your Makoto doesn't do crappy damage. Alrighty, I'll talk to y'all in a sec. Yeah, no, man. This fight is so brutal. Like, it's not even funny. Like, you need to make sure, if you're like half through your HP pool, you make sure you guard or you heal like instantaneously. You don't want to risk it, especially if he has a lot of stacks, right? But in this case, I'm maintaining the stacks. I'm guarding where I need to, so it's only at 3 or 2 at all times for the most part. And again, like I said, Minami's highlight, use it when you need to. You need that extra heal so you don't waste SP, use it. Right? Or if you're trying to maintain, Minami's skill 3 with her diagnostics stacks up, it's a good time to highlight. Saves you a heal, so you have it for emergencies. If for some weird reason you get crash out like a lot more than often, and for some reason you don't have ailments on the boss like inflicted, instead of using skill 3 with no ailments on the field, just use S1. Okay, S1 does way more damage on Makoto with no ailments than a skill 3 with no ailments inflicted. But that's just in case you encounter that situation. Okay. Alright, so here we're getting really close to the ballista phase. Keep in mind that here you can highlight, but I rather chose to save it just so I could have Vino's highlight up for the weak phase. Not weak phase, sorry, I thought this was guild bossing for a moment. For the ballista phase, so that Makoto doesn't do stinky poo-poo damage. Right? God, I hated the way I said that, but you get my point, y'all. So see how I have crash out here, and I just decide to hoard it. Right. You don't want to use it right before you hit the ballista phase. It's such a huge damage loss, and it can lose the run. Like, it's crazy to think about. So unfortunately, I didn't get Vino's highlight here, but you know, it's fine. Just again, make sure you have the crash out here, right? Unfortunate, right? If I had Vino's crash out here, Vino's highlight here, I could have been able to inflict those ailments for free and just have Makoto crash out into skill 3. But in this case, I had no ailments on the field and I had crash out, so I just decided, you know what, screw it, just skill 1, you know. But whatever you do, don't get cocky like I did. You know, try to save Vino's highlight for whenever you get to ballista phase. It helps a lot. Okay, so notice here I take a pause and rethink my decisions, because I was probably planning on skill 3ing here, but his stacks are so high, I was like, nope, not having that. So I just sucked it up and just took the L, right? Again, you gotta maintain those stacks. You know, the lower the better. Okay, here, after Wonder activates Dionysus, I get access to a highlight. But in this case, remember what I told you guys earlier? About abusing Vino highlight, setting it up? Yeah, now is a pretty good time to, you know, so that you can do some off rotation off ballista rotation damage, so that, you know, you don't just wait until he gets down, because you still can do damage. It's just, bear in mind, it's a lot better if you do down him and then save crash out. But again, you get my point. Just do as much damage as you can and make sure stacks are low, at an all-time low. Again, reminder, if you're still watching this video, you have crash out, don't use it. Save it. You're very close to the 100 energy. Okay? Don't do it now. And I'm gonna be real. For like the free-to-play option for this team, you could probably do like another like Marion Sword run, but man, you lose out on so much damage if you don't run Vino here. But again, another option if you don't have Vino built. But keep in mind, you're not going to be applying ailments anytime soon, right? And without ailments, Makoto's damage is kind of, well, bricked, for better sense of the world. Per usual here, you want to set up Wonder, you know, get his debuffs in, make sure you save crash out until the 100 energy hits for the ballista. You know, if you need to inflict ailments, Makoto skill 1 is good. If you need to lower his wrap stacks, you know, skill 2 is also pretty good, also gives tenacity with Makoto. And yeah, here we go, time for big boy damage. So here, I really wanted to just shred with Vino, but I was like, nope, control yourself. You need to like reduce those stacks. And then here I just married skill 3 because, oh my god, I'm about to die. And then here comes big damage. But don't worry, screw the wonder buff, just crash out. And then you highlight into skill 3. I think you guys see the pattern with this. You know, you wanna have those Makoto highlights and crash out skill 3 saved for moments like this. It does more damage than usual. And he's almost dead. And now I'm about to brick the run here, but it's okay. So if you paid attention, I got him to 6 stacks, right? Maybe there wasn't really the best time to, you know, highlight with Makoto and crash out skill 3, but it does the damage, and if you can tank it, you can tank it. But here, I risked it all for the biscuit. But it's fine. You know, honestly, it's close to dying. Just a couple of Vino hits, and it should be death. But other than this scuffed run, I hope you enjoyed the Moha hot guide, man. I mean, this boss is pretty rough. Like, heck, man. I mean, look at this run, dude. Like, I pretty much almost killed the run. But, again, just be cautious. Pay attention to its stacks. Here, with this phase, for some reason, even with Makoto highlight, it still puts stacks onto him, when usually it doesn't. I don't know how to explain that, but, you know, if you see those stacks going up, just make sure you stop attacking, okay? That's just the general rule of thumb. But okay, guys, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this fight and my tiny little scuff at the very end, okay? Talk to you on a bit. But yeah, there you go, boys. That was my Moha run. A little scuffed at the end. You can Pepe laugh at me in the comments, okay? Whatever. I got the job done. You got my point. Just TLDR, pay attention to stacks. If the stacks ramp up too high, stop attacking and guard or heal. Okay? You don't want to be caught in 4K. And yeah, boys, if you enjoyed this video, you know, leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like, man. Like, I kind of worked hard on this, you know, XD. And look forward to more guides or, you know, just variety P5X content in the near future, because, you know, I really love this game and I really love this community, and it's, you know, it's fun making videos like these. Alrighty, boys, you guys have a fantastic night. I love y'all. Deuces.